Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Bonnie. I create content around careers, higher education, self-development with a dose of reality check. Welcome to my new setup. If you're familiar with me, you will know that I recently moved back home to my mama's house. I'm here like during the week for work because I just moved to Devon. So you know what, I just thought, let me stop complaining and use what I have. Let me not complain about noise, about space. Let me just use what I have. And ta-da! This was the best corner that I could find in the house. Today, guys, I'm going to be sharing with you my time in the UK. What was I doing? How much I was getting paid? How much rent I was paying? What expenses did I have? And did I manage to save? That's the type of video that I am doing today, and it's highly requested. The reason I haven't been I didn't want to do this video is because the type of visa that I went to the UK with does not exist anymore. So this is why I just thought it's not gonna be useful, but people have been wondering, like they've been curious, they wanted to know, so here we are. Stay tuned. Okay, so how did I get the job? Who helped me with the visa? Guys, I don't remember the name of the guy. I don't remember the agency. It was 18 years ago, but they were based in Pretoria. So they will help you with the visa application and arrange your interviews and stuff. And at that time, it was quite affordable. Maybe it was 3,000 rand to pay the guy. And I can't remember how much was the visa. But the whole thing was not expensive. That's what I remember, and that was back in 2004. It was not that expensive. They would want someone to deposit, like to show that there are funds when you know this most, to show that there are funds in your account. And at that time in 2004, they only wanted to see 20,000 rands in your account. So anyone in your family can do that for you. Sign you a check or something and then withdraw it after you've done your visa. Yeah, but the process was not expensive. Even the flights, sadly, I don't remember. And I don't have access to my old email account that I was using. I'm sure I could recover it, but I just never bothered. So yeah, the process was not that expensive. You just needed to have like 20,000. And then this guy worked with a guy in the UK who will then, when you arrive, they will give you accommodation and then take you to a job. Like he will have like things lined up for you, blah, blah, blah. Of course, you need to be registered with the national insurance as you arrive. I always hear people saying, oh no, in the UK, like medical, what, it's free. Guys, it's not free, you are paying for it. You are paying for the national insurance. But I just think that process, that whole thing was nice, you know, because you just know that whatever happens to you, you can go to the government hospital and get the help that you need. And I remember while I was there, I did use a gynecologist. Yes, I did have an appointment with a gynecologist. I was doing something, I can't remember the name. If I remember, I'll put text somewhere here, okay? The name of the procedure, didn't pay a cent for it, and it was quite nice, professional, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, we left here. I asked the guy to book me on the day where there's someone else that is traveling. And then there was a lady by the name of Ntabi saying Portia. She went by the name of Portia. Oh, we are still in contact today. She's still in the UK. I'll talk about that later. She's still in the UK. So I met her. I'm from Japan, so I traveled by bus, guys. I traveled by bus to meet with her at OR Tambo, and then we flew to Heathrow Airport in London. Very, emotional experience. When I really left the airport, my family was not there, you know. Only my cousin took me to the bus station. Guys, very emotional. Took me to the bus station. I took a bus and then I arrived in Joburg, stayed with my friends, and then they drove me to the airport. I met Portia right there and there. We sat together and then we flew to Heathrow Airport, okay? And then when we arrived, boom, it was Valentine's Day. We arrived, we called Steve. I still remember the guy very well. His name was Steve, the guy who's going to organize us jobs. And when we got there, it's 2 hours from London. So we called Steve. We're telling him that, okay, we've arrived. We're in London right now. We're at the airport. By the way, the airport thing, everything was easy. Guys, remember this was 2004. Like the South African passport was still tight. Like it was not easy to get a South African passport compared to today. So there were no hassles at the airport. Easy peasy. Okay, fine. We call Steve, right? Steve says there is no space at the hostel, right? At his hostel, which is 2 hours away from London. We are here now from South Africa. He says there is no space. This was Friday. He says we should call him on Monday. Steve says we should call him on Monday. Guys, I'm sure my sound is not going to be good because I'm in an open plan situation, but please forgive me because I really wanted to do this video for you. Okay, highly requested. Okay. So anyway, Steve says there is no space. We should call him on Monday, right? There is no space at the hostel, so we can't come in. Okay, cool. Then we call our agent in South Africa. God bless his soul. That guy deposited money for us and told us to go to Elscott. Elscott, I'll put the spelling here. You can Google it in London, in the center of London. It says you must go to Elscott. The hostels there, right? There are hostels there. You can stay till Monday. I'm going to deposit money for you. Okay, cool. We wait around and then the guy really deposits money for us. Guys, we travel to Elscott. We take the tube, you know, the underground train. Now in South Africa we have the Gau train, but the tube is like, you know. So we take the tube to Elscott. We get there. Guys, first world countries is easy. Everything is easy, you know, and safety, of course. So yeah, we go to Elscott. We check in this hostel. So the fees you can share with 6 people or with 4 people. Obviously, it differs. I think my friend and I, the first night on Friday, we stayed in this one, and then there was this lady from Ukraine. I don't know if she was on drugs or what was happening with her. It was just scary, guys. So like bunk beds. Someone is at the bottom, someone is on top, you know. There's a bus passing, so let me just stop a bit. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, someone is at the bottom, someone is on top. It's my friend at the bottom and I'm on top, and then there's this lady from Ukraine. I don't know if she's on drugs or what. So that was our first night in London. Okay, fine. And then when you go to the dining hall, like there's a dining hall, you can eat there or something, like you can eat breakfast. South Africans, they are crying about the government has abandoned them, this and that. You know, those kids that just, you know, we live in this country, guys. This is 2004. You find those, they are crying, people are laughing at them, that you are South African, but you are white, what's going on? Guys, that was funny, I'm telling you. Okay, fine, we're there now. It's Saturday, the 15th of February, 2004. We are walking around, we're seeing, we didn't have a camera, Shem. Notting Hill, you know, like where the movie scenes and whatnot. We are walking around, we're seeing those things. Yeah, guys, so yeah. There was the experience. Obviously, we didn't have money, so we were not really like, we were just walking around. We were not taking any transport or taking a cab to anywhere. We were just walking around and making sure that we save our money, because we did not know what's going to happen on Monday. Like, if we call Steve, is he going to say we can come to the hostel, you know? And then the second night we moved, guys. We found another a better accommodation around Elscott. We found a better accommodation. There we were staying with 2 Zimbabwean ladies. And guys, everyone is just depressed and fed up. It's just telling us, guys, you should go back to your country. You know, imagine this is your first 2 days in London. Already you are meeting people who are asking you, what are you doing here? Like, what's wrong with you? Go back to your country, you know? And then At this point, we are thinking, maybe let's stay a bit in London. This lady say, no, no, no. You know, if you have a job wherever that is 2 hours away from London, that's where you should go. You cannot survive in the city. You know, you cannot survive in the city. So we took that advice, and come Monday, we phoned Steve, and Steve says, okay, fine, you can come. There is space in the hostel. We grab my water. And then the drama starts, like the real drama, the escape, the works, like how did I escape from the hostel? It's coming up now. So guys, me and already, I have a friend, not a friend, but someone that I knew, like from school, right? That was already in Glasgow, which is in Scotland, right? And like they were living comfortably, you know, in Scotland. So I arrived in London. I'm like, okay, let me try this one out. So we travel by train. We go to Spalding. We get the countryside vibes, nice. Like that's when we started seeing people with yards and gardens and whatnot, like nice houses, double store, like really beautiful houses, you know. That place where I used to live. It reminded me of Kloof. If you know Kloof in Devon, that's the vibe, you know, village vibe. Everybody knows each other, everyone is rich, you know. So that's where we moved to Spalding. Hi again, guys. Hey. Sisebenze nela phayana, we are working, and I'm like, hey, ngeke. Angizwa mina lento, like all our money is going to rent. You know, all our money is going to rent and food, and we are left with very little, you know. And sometimes you don't have work, so you owe this guy rent money, you know. Sometimes you don't have work. People are coming and going, like every 2 days is new people, other ones are leaving, kuna mess. And I'm thinking, hey, like we are working for this guy, basically. We are working for this guy. There is no money. There is like no money. We are just working to get rent. And then sometimes he will say, "Utama shift away in this factory. Their factory when we buy or something." So we're just packing like flowers for stores, like Abo Woolworths, Lapayana Woolworths. It's sort of like Mark and Spencer. That's the name of the store, Mark and Spencer. But like South Africa, I would say it's a Woolworths. So we were picking those flowers, and I was like, I phoned my friend in Glasgow. We organized a plan, booked a bus. I was gone. Guys, I escaped because I was owing rent paid. I need to ngiyabonga I'm waiting for Steve. Hi, ngeke Mina guys, I escaped. One thing about me, I'll make a plan. I escaped. I went to Glasgow. I stayed with my friend. Okay, so what's the difference between Glasgow and England, like where I came from? Glasgow is like Durban, very slow, right? Glasgow is slow, and also the money, it's not like you don't get paid a lot like in Durban, but life, it's homely, and life is affordable. Yeah, life is affordable. So there was the difference. Okay, fine, I stayed in Glasgow. So what type of, I have a lot of stories, guys. Just let me know in the comments if you want more story times, because I have a lot of stories, but for today, I just want to focus on how I got there and the salaries and the expenses. You know, I don't want this video to be too long. So anyway, in Glasgow, I was working at a stadium, Hampden Stadium. I've shown this on my TikTok. Maybe I'll insert it somewhere, where I was working as a hostess. Yeah, guys, I didn't want, I don't know if I was lazy. I just didn't want these hard labor jobs, though they were available and they will pay more. But I just like being a hostess, and I was not getting paid a lot, but that's what I did. I love being a hostess. Soccer games. I worked at Hampden Stadium. I worked at Celtic Park Stadium. If you love soccer, you know Celtics is a big club in Glasgow. And I worked at Ibrox Stadium, which is Ibrox Stadium is Ranger Stadium. Yeah, so that's where I worked. And then there was a time where I tried to work at a factory. It was a poultry factory where like a rainbow chickens type of factory. I did it for 3 months. It was permanent with benefits, everything, and the money was good. But guys, I just couldn't. Like, ukuma nje kwi-conveyor belt. Ngime nje kwi-conveyor belt. I always knew that there was something more. You know, there is something more that I can do with my life. As much as I was struggling to find a job in South Africa, but I always knew that there was something that I'm meant to do. Like, this is not me. Like, this is not me. I just can't do it. And also, kwangeni winter ngo-October, guys, depression in Shire. So it's really winter, and you know, so I just dropped it, right? Yeah, and let's talk about my salary, guys. I have my notes here. So this one, the salary that I'm going to share is not the factory one. Like, it's not that when I was working at the factory. At the factory, I was earning much more, right? And I only worked for 3 months. This one is when I was doing like my hostessing, and I was doing ad hoc jobs. Sometimes I'll work in a hotel. I tried to work in a hotel, and I knew I came in a hard labor, no cleaning. And this is why, guys, going out, I'm fine or anything. If I hear someone saying when the hospital libas or send them a hotel, okay, fine, it's okay. But I knew. Yeah, was went to housekeeping, and you know, sometimes when you did hospitality, you can specialize in housekeeping. I knew what's going because maybe I'm lazy or what, I don't care. But there was good money there, and it was stable. Like, if you can go, I was working at the Hilton, I think it was Hilton Hotel at Glasgow Airport. At the airport in Glasgow, right? So I was working there, and it could be like a full-time gig. I tried it for 1 week. I told my agent, because also in Glasgow, I worked with agencies. So there was a lady who that owned an agency called the Temp Agency. I told her, I want to go back to hostessing, even though it's not a lot of money, but I'm comfortable there. I don't want to clean. I don't want to work in a factory, you know. So that was my vibe, guys. Okay, anyway, let me share my salary. Okay, so guys, I found my statement, right? My mom, oh, she's so sweet. She found my bank statement from 2005, and she shared it with me, and she knew I would like to create content with it. So I don't know, like Nzobon, I'll show you the statement. I'll put it somewhere here. So guys, anyway, this is how much I used to get. So what I did was, in this statement, it will show a period of 2 months. Then I divided that amount, because I'm sure it was average. I divided that amount by 2. So it was showing that I was paying £162. Okay, bear in mind, in 2004, the pound to the rand was 11 rand 60. Or is it the rand to the pound? Or the pound to the rand? It was 1 pound was equal to 11 rand 60. So bear in mind while I'm sharing this with you. So my rent was 105 pounds per month, which equals to 1,155. And then I will pay for electricity 9 pounds. And then furniture was 48 pounds per month. This is per month, right? So in total, it was 162 pounds per month. And this is how much I was earning. I earned in 2 months. In 2 months, it was 1,960 pounds. So when you divide it, so that's like 22,776. And then when you divide it by 2, it will mean that in those 2 months, I was averaging 11,000 rands. Bear in mind, it was 2005. My expenses were around. So what I did was, I just went through my bank statement and I ticked everything that said money out. But I don't know, was I buying food? Was I paying for a cab? Was I paying for a bath? Was I paying for entertainment? I used to go out paying. I was young, you know? So what was I paying for? I don't know, right? But it just shows here that in that 2 months, I spent 1,091 pounds, which means it's 12,665, right? So let me keep it simple. So per month, I would earn around 11,736, and then my bills, the bills like your electricity, and it will be 1,879 per month, and then my expenses were around 6,327, right? So I might have been buying clothes, buying gifts, I don't know, right?